What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon jumping back into Rugby 25 today for our latest update. Now, there was no update last week. Basically, everyone in the Big Ant studio seems like they came down with, like, the flu or something and basically killed off the whole team. So, everyone went. There was no update last week, so our last actual update was, like, 2 weeks ago. It was a bit of an okay update, something still I'm not enjoying. We found a few more things going wrong and what have you. Not going to lie, I haven't played since then. I did put out a video last week, for anyone, or sort of earlier this week, I came out like Sunday, basically going over some ideas and some concepts that I had of ways they could improve things in the game, given what already exists in the game and is already kind of in Big Ant's repertoire. So if you haven't seen that one, you can go check that out and give me your own thoughts on some of those suggestions. As usual, I'll chuck timestamps in the description and in the timeline of this video so you guys can jump to any area you want. No patch notes today. A patch came out hours ago. I've not seen anything on the FAQ page or on Steam. So we're going in kind of blind. I've had a quick look just to see if I can see anything you know, generically that it looks like it's changed. I have noticed that the Wales badge is still in its little red box square, so that looks like that hasn't been touched. I did set the update to download and went to walk away and it downloaded instantly, which to me doesn't suggest that there's going to be that much difference, which I guess if the guys are actually ill at Big Ant last week, they haven't necessarily done like a big update for this week. But we'll jump into a game. We'll do so enough. Now, I've seen a couple of bits already, people talking on the FAQ page about what's going on. Let's do a bit of a low rate team too. Canada? I don't feel like we haven't really done a lot with Canada. Let's do Canada. Let's do Canada going up against. Who would be fun? Who would be like a fun? I don't know what we were rated. 74. Let's try and find someone. We could do. We already did Uruguay though. Chile. Check Chile and why. Canada versus Chile. There's a fun little game. We'll check that in. We'll go on hardest as usual. And we're basically going a little bit blind to this one, so we get a feel for anything that's changed, updated, what's going on. We can have a bit more of a chatty video as we go along, rather than staying for ages in the menus. I'm going to try my hardest not to have to constantly keep pausing the video as well, because or pausing the game because things go wrong. But in Rugby 25, that's never a guarantee, right? So let's jump in here. We still got that little post that's always in the way for the poor old cameraman, and we'll jump into a game. Now, yeah, a couple of things that are still bothering me. Someone actually mentioned the FAQ page, which I did see myself. They did a little mini update on Friday the 30th, which I don't think I've played that since then, where they basically said they were adjusting the kicking timings, and they basically mentioned about, again, like, that kicking mechanic from hand is feeling more and more like it is going to be a mechanic. I hate it. Some people really like it, so, you know, each their own. But yeah, it sounds more and more like that kicking thing is going to end up being like an actual kicking mechanic in the game, which I have to say I'm not a big fan of. But let's see how we get on versus Chile. Oh, we get our first steal there of the game, nice and early on. Let's see if we can battle out in these rucks. Now, who's going to be in a decent position for me? Everyone still bunches the ball. Let's just run on, go for a handoff. Let's see if we can just take this with 3 people for now. Try and keep a few more people in my attacking line. Oh, we're away. We're still away. Alright. That was interesting. Slightly different. Try celebration? I don't think I've seen that one before, where he sort of pointed to all his teammates and stuff. Basically, Chile just didn't get out to the wide wing to stop me there. Defensively, the AI was holding up pretty well in the last couple of updates. So that was quite an interesting one. Maybe that'll be a bit of a sort of outline. Now, we got the kicking thing. This is one of the things I mentioned in my video on Sunday, was about ways I think they could change this conversion mechanics. I still don't think anyone enjoys the kicking in this game in terms of like kicking towards posts. I still don't feel like it's there at the minute. It's just so easy to just sort of faff about and do that. But I would like to see that change. Oh, Chile got their number 12. I'm trying to think of. I do remember enjoying watching Chile play during the World Cup, but I have to say it's not a team I know vast amounts about all the players and stuff. So if we could have the player names on screen, that would be great. Well, let's go for a maul, and we can get ourselves set up. Where do we think the room's going to open? We go left here with the scrum half. Try and put some pressure on. Oh, they shut that down pretty well. Now, a few people mentioned as well about the ooh, we've got new box kicks. I like it. We can actually adjust. Can I get under that? Oh, and we get on the end of it. Hello, boys. All right. This feels like a decent change. We can now adjust the box kick with a line. They've given up on the... I mean, this is exactly what we want. Right, let's go... Oh, we didn't say use it that time. I was waiting for the ref to say use it. I was faffing about with it. So they've adjusted the kicks. We'll do kicking from hand. This is fun. I enjoy this, actually, not having patch notes. I go in blind to this. So the box kicks have become a bit more like what you will have seen from every other rugby game, which is something we've asked for, right? Well, we now have a trajectory line, and therefore we can adjust height, depth. Great! That seems like a good positive. That's a good scrum. Oh, we didn't get that. Wow, that was perfect on the timing. And it still didn't give me the... Oh, I've also found out... Oh, I should have shown that off. I also found out that if you lose a scrum, you can just not compete, and it makes no difference. If you lose the scrum, there's no point in competing, which is kind of weird. I feel like we should still have to engage in the mini-game. Let's see if we can rush in there. Oh, we've certainly got numbers, boys. The guy's kind of stuck in the ruck there. Oh, little bobble around. Look, I'll get a turnover here. Look, very, very short-manned everywhere. But at least my fullback is in a fullback position. Oh, that was a nice little offload. Good stop. Can he reach for the try line? Oh, it's a big turnover there by the big man. Right, let's go for another one of these new box kicks then. This time I want to go for more length, and we'll just sort of aim down here. Still not really got a view on where I'm aiming. Still feel like that kicking arc could do with being expanded out. Like that was as far that way as I could go. If you have a look at, you know, where we're positioned, you know, I certainly feel like in a game of rugby, I should be able to find touch from that. I moved that stick towards the touch as far as possible, and it stops you after a certain, like, 45-degree arc. You can't go more that way. I'm clearly aiming for touch, but the game restricts me from doing it. That is something I would really like them to just remove from the game, so that you can kick wherever you want in terms of a full 180-degree arc from a box kick. I feel like it would offer a lot more. Like, that should have been clearly going to touch, and then being able to you know, have a line out so I can defend from, whereas instead they've just run it all the way back to where I was basically defending from. That's a nice little offload. They're still doing the same offloads. Feels like there's been slightly nicer attack. It still feels like they're doing the same one run, sidestep or handoff, offload, sidestep or handoff. It's pretty similar. Handoff, offload. We got him. Oh, he got him for a held up here. And the TMO's back. Hooray. I don't know why this disappeared at one point, but I'm really glad to see this back. Still feel like he could have got that down. I mean, he's over the line. No one's exactly underneath him. Still a couple of issues with these camera angles. Why am I looking at grass? Oh, wow, he's having a real good look at it. We've had 3 replays now, and that's not even showing the try. But we will have a dropout. Right, let's go for some kicking from hand then, seeing as we know this is different. Has these kicks changed? It's still inverted, which I still find so weird. Still find this has been a thing, I don't know, 20 updates? Let's go for a really long range. Let's really try and put them right on that touch line. Give them something tricky to work with. I have been enjoying that little circle, the little circle around the player's feet. I think that is a positive. Still haven't seen the AI do a kick yet, which, you know, they added in the mark calling and stuff last week. That was what I like to see. So let me just see with the A kick now. No. So the A is still just the circle on the ground, but box kicks specifically now have a trajectory line like you'd see in most other rugby games. Right, we're making a bit of a breakthrough here. Let's go for a little cheeky chip kick. They still took the tackle after the kick. Good clearance. Very good clearance. I just want to have a quick look at the chase on this. For anyone to just witness, this is something that I've brought up, but it's really hard to find a good example of it. Players without the ball on your team being able to run fast. This is 15 versus 15. I don't know the stats, but just have a look at how fast 15 was running. Let me see if I can lock on to 15 here. But just watch how much quicker my 15 runs, but then as soon as I swap to him, he immediately slows down. Absolutely outgassing him, and then stops. You can actually, like, pinpoint, sprint, overtake, ooh, put off the gas. As soon as I swap to him, he loses, like, loads and loads of speed. Now, is that the case that not playing as him, the game allows him to sprint even faster? Or is it a case of me swapping to him, ooh, foot off the gas? That is something, again, you know, I feel like, oh, What an offload there. You know, that is something, again, players should just have a set speed. It shouldn't matter whether you have the ball or not. For me, it should just be, that's how it is. I'm sure there's probably an element to balancing, to have the ability to chase down a player if the players without the ball are slightly faster. You know, to give you a chance to be able to do a good, you know, chase tackle. But, you know, it is weird too when you clearly see he's like 3 times faster and then stops sprinting as soon as you swap to them. There's a lot of offloading going on. It's still one of the things on the hardest difficulty. There's not really an attack structure from the AI. It is just run forwards, handoffs, offload, handoff, sidestep, slip through one tackle, offload, handoff. It's just the same cycle over and over again. And it is more tricky. They certainly look like they can go on to score tries now, which is good. But it all stems from, like, I don't know, in my own thing, I would almost say it's weak game mechanics. It's just undefendable because, oh, we're giving offside there. An actual correct offside. I was absolutely offside. But there's nothing you can do. The handoff, the sidestep, the slip tackles, I have no impact on any of them. The game just says they get through you. There's nothing you can do. You can't be better. Whoa. Easy 3. We're only 7-0 up. They've turned it down. Tap and go. Scrum in the middle of the field. A lot of options there to go for. They've gone for quite a tricky kick for the 5-meter line there. Right, let's see if we can try and steal this. Go middle. Oh, wow, good steal. Right, let's go. Run, 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 boys. Just got to take that one in because my winger didn't want to get on the wing. Let's try and hit this with a bit of speed there. A little offload. Oh, that guy actually ran a nice little loop for me. Right, let's go for a box kick. Out long. Still can't get to touch. That arc needs to be widened. I just cannot kick to touch from a box kick from, you know, I'm beyond the post. I'm not exactly in the smack bang middle of the field. You know, sure, I'm going to have to lose a bit of distance in order to securely get it to touch, but wow, is that multiple passes and a line hit by the prop? Not necessarily the man I'd be expecting to hit that line, but at least there was a couple of passes there. Another offload. Whoa. Swap the players. And they'll get over that try. Again, you know, another issue is that I did see someone flag on the FAQ page was they actually asked about how does the game decide who we're swapping to. You might have seen there me jumping around trying to swap to fullback, and it kept selecting like 3 other people rather than clearly the person in the best defensive position. You know, they added in that thing about you could do like LB and RB at the same time, and it should shoot you back to like the fullback. I think that's gone now, or it doesn't work anymore. I think at one point it was Y as well. They kind of keep changing the buttons, but they get over for a try. It just always seems to stem from handoffs and offloads, and it's never like they build an attack. We did have one, I guess, set play. You know, I guess if you want to call it that, the way they sort of did 2 or 3 passes in a row, and the prop broke the line. That's nice to see. How are we getting on with the stamina? Is the stamina not too bad? Wow, I've actually got a much better prop. Apologies for positions as well. I don't necessarily know anything about Canadian rugby. Let's take my 73 centre off and put on an 81 centre. Sounds way better. Ooh! Is that an actual... A little bit weird that it's... Because I've done it at half-time. Not how it would work. And also we didn't have the whistle from the ref. I think I broke something there. And then nobody caught the ball. Oh no, have I started something here? So yeah, you know, obviously at halftime, if someone was coming off at halftime, not something you see in rugby, you know, every game where someone is just directly substituted off at halftime. Normally they sort of leave a prop till, whoops, it is the wrong way. Can I have that inverted? I might check the settings actually to see if I can re-invert that back, because it's a little bit weird for me. That time we were able to find touch. But yeah, you know, at halftime, it should just be they come back onto the field with those subs already applied. I'm glad there is now more instances of, you know, a sub will come on with a bit of an animation to them. Oh, I don't think that's me. I think that was them. You know, I'm glad there's more substitute animations. It could be a bit more in-depth. I don't know who was being substituted on for who. There was no pop-up on screen that I saw. Maybe there was. I'll check in the replay. Obviously, when I'm editing, I'll be able to see clear. I didn't see it saying whose name was on for who. Don't know what their scrum half's doing. He's behind my face at the minute. But, yeah, he's really flaunting his backside towards me. And, I mean, I feel like all of that was green. Right? Again from here. Take the 3. It's 7-all. You could move up. They've lost one line out. I would like to see them go for the 3. But yeah, you know, obviously I've obviously hit a bit of a thing with the substitute. Back to that. I've obviously hit a very weird niche there where I put a substitute on at the wrong time for the game, and it didn't really know what to do. So it let everyone get on the field, then did the substitute. A little bit weird. Let's put someone else on. In fact, all of my stamina's gone back up to full. Now that we're in the second half, which is a little bit weird. Let me put on a new scrum half. You can see if we have some other animations. Go to the... oh, we didn't manage to steal that one. I do like the new box kick, though. I would just... Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to see if I could invert the settings for the gameplay. No. Doesn't look like I can swap... I would just really like to invert the way the kicking works so that pushing the stick further away means you kick further. I will never understand the logic of pushing the stick further away from your player for some reason means kick shorter. I haven't ever understood it on the kickoffs when they changed it, because it wasn't always the case. They changed it, and it makes less logical sense in my brain. So I guess similar to, you know, if you've ever played... Oh, they get through there. On, like flying games, or if you ever played, like, I don't know, Battlefield or something where you have the option to invert flying. I've never been able to use the inverted flying mechanics. I would always want to be like... Or maybe I do use the inverted mechanics. I have one way... I have to sit down and play a game to know which one I do. But I would have a certain way to make the plane tip and lift, and I could only do it one way. I'm not very good at my brain switching to the other side. So this, for me, in the rugby game is still the wrong way round. And having the option to just invert the way the controls work to the directory line would make it way, way better on those box kick. What is going on with players facing the wrong way? Why is 21 there? Why is he facing the wrong way? Why? That is a thing now I've seen a couple of times. They had it in the scrum with their guy. Like, what? Like, that's got to be off-putting, right? Trying to take a... Is he just like he's... Does he secretly work for the other team and he's just giving him a bit of coaching news? I don't know. But I do like... I like that they've changed the box kick. And we had another substitute animation in there as well. Again, didn't see who's coming on, who's going off. You know, it'd be nice to see shirt numbers and stuff on the players as well as they're going off. Oh, there's a nice little line through there. Right, we're losing now. We've got to make this... we've got to make the big comeback. Come on, Canada. Let's work it out, boys. Let's try and make a bit of a line through here. Right, we've got a few meters to work with here. Oh, hit a clean gap through. 14, hunting down. Got some good pace. Gonna have to really apply a lot of men to this one. Let's try and go. I always feel like they've got a lot more defenders. Let me go. Who's outside here out of A and B? Who's going to run further out? A or B? I'm going to go B. No, they just sort of run in a line. You know, why is someone not further out than the other players? So I know who's going to go out to the wing. Oh, that was an interesting one. We'll try and make it work for us. Go on, boys. Get in there. Oh, well, let's shift back the other way, because actually they've left us a bit of room out here on this wing. That's not the guy I wanted to pass to. I used the target passing and everything, and it still went wrong. Oh, and they've got a turnover there as well. Let's get in, boys. Surely got to have numbers at that, because they had numbers at the last one. Oh. Ball got stuck in the ruck animal now. He looks like he's had enough. He's given up. Right, well, get the scrum out, because the scrum went wrong immediately, even though I did everything right last time. Let's just get the ball out the scrum. Flanker's still on the wrong side in the scrum. Oh, which is annoying. All these little things, they just stick out to me as a problem. Let's just pick it up, because I daren't try and fight the game on what it wants to do. I couldn't get that pass away then at all. That's not the guy I wanted to pass to either. Still just a couple of things feeling clunky in this game. Let's try and go right here. Got to hit that line. That's a better line. 14 for me has got some great pace. and we'll dive it over. We've got to, of course, pay attention now to the shorter try-scoring area that they had in the update 2 weeks ago, which is much, much better to not just allow you to dive from before that 5-meter line. You've got to run that through very nicely. That was a nice line picked by 14 that time. Hit a clean gap. Fullback maybe should have done a little bit better there, but just dot it down, put it under. We'll draw this back up for Canada. See, but then when you get around to this kick, this is what I don't understand about this game. So now, bringing it closer to me does bring it closer. So this is correct. Why the kicking is opposite depending on what the kick is. I just think it needs to be uniform for all these types of kicks. All these kicks that have a trajectory. All the way the stick moves needs to become uniform across the board and then offer the players to invert it or not, the controls, so that they can choose how they want all the kicks to be. It is so weird that kickoff, dropouts, box kicks all act one way, but conversions act another way. Even though it's like it's asking the same thing, I don't even know how that's possible. Whether they just forgot it or not. Let's do the box kick again. No, I want to go. In fact, let's go for a slightly shorter one towards this midfield over here.
Use it. Take him back.
I do like it though. I still feel like players get up a little bit quickly, which is a shame. Because like if you have a look when you sort of get in here, you know, if you're having a box kick here, I know it is out. I do find it weird when players stand up. You know, everyone in that ruck is up before I've got this box kick away, whereas I'd be expecting them to still be sort of latched on, you know, as a box kick goes, especially your back rowers. I don't think you can just stand up. I mean, if anything, you've created like an illegal block here, right? I feel like 12 here could maybe look to charge down, but then as we play it on, he then runs into a wall of players. I feel like they've actually almost created an obstruction because these players have been allowed to stand up, unless that's the workaround that Big Ant have found for not letting your scrum half get tackled on a box kick. Maybe that's the workaround they've had to put in place for it. But I would like them to sort of stay in and even like the animation of the box kick. I don't think it's ridiculous. You know, players definitely pick up the ball. I used to play scrum half. If I was going to do this is a setup. You know, I'm wanting that ball behind the back foot. I'm leaning back. I'm left-footed, so I'm leaning back. And then I'm taking it out and I'm striking it basically in one fluid motion, as opposed to in this game where they kind of like, they stand up almost completely the whole way and then almost take a secondary kick. If you're going to do one of something like that, I'm expecting a bit more like you're going to try and get, you know, which we all will have seen in rugby. Like this kick for me, if you're doing this sort of body position and the way he's kicking this ball is going, you're actually going to kick it end over end rather than go for height or distance. You're going to go end over end. You're going to try and get the ball to roll, and that ball is going to get dinked over the top of these guys' heads, and you're going to try and land it about here, and you're trying to get it to go end over end and go ba-doop, 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 and then it gets into touch, and you move the line out down there, and you'd probably utilize it somewhere where you're closer towards touch. Someone can get on the end of it, score a try, or you're going to put them under pressure, put a line out, you know, right in their 5-meter channel. So just the animation just stands out to me a little. I think you could still get away with it if the players hold in the ruck here and just adjust the box kick to being... I mean, he's just stood up. He's just stood up vertically and booting it upwards. You know, I just feel like a switch could be done. Because if I showed you this image, would you think there was a box kick happening here? Or would you think someone's just punting it? I feel like it just needs to have a bit of adjustment there. We are able to get on the end of them, though, which is nice. I haven't actually seen a single incidence yet of the of that little red ring circle to be like a competing catching ball. It seems to just be you get on the end of it. I feel like there's maybe a little bit too much sort of preference on... Oh, that's a nice little running around the outside. Can we get on the end of him here, boys? Right, got to be isolated there. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit too much preference on the team that has kicked it. Seems to get on the end of it a lot more here. Let's go for a... Oh, God, it's the wrong way again. We'll try and go for a box kick here. Over the top. Oh, another bounce. Oh, and he just ran into touch. He had enough. He had enough of it. Okay, hang on, boys. Right. Come on, Canada. We've got the opportunity here. Let's work it out. Right. Let's go long. Let's go way over the top. Okay, they didn't even compete for that one. Right, let's... Gosh, it's an awful, awful pass. Trying to go wide. Didn't work for me at all. Was that 1v5 game? Is that what I just witnessed there? Oh my god, I mean, how awful does that look? They've got to fix this thing about the rucks and why they make sense. Look at this. I have got a prop, a number 8, a flanker, another flanker, and I've got 2 props. 5 people competing for the ball, blown out of the water. Like a grenade has gone off. I mean, come on. There's gotta be a better thing. And it doesn't even happen in rugby. It's probably one of the most annoying things because although it clearly demonstrates on screen what's going on, you never see this. If this player, which I've won the ball, I took it over, I was even using the hold on to the ball mechanic. My guy has placed it back on my side and I've got 5 people in. And he still blew me out the water. But even in a real game of rugby, if somebody got in really well, got a jackal in early, they're just going to recover the ball. Why is it not that they pick up the ball and hand it back to someone? Why does it need to have this weird, explosive skin? Like, it looks ridiculous. Look at this. He has literally blown 5 people out of the water. Oh boy. Will it make the thumbnail? Who knows? We'll see what I decide close to it. But again, you know, I've lost the ball here. There's nothing more I could have done. I used that little hold-on mechanic. Now I've blown 3 of their guys out of the water. I got a handoff there without even pushing the button. Let's go right. Come on, boys. There's got to be room on the outside. Nope, not going to get anywhere there. Let's try and support him. Could easily have numbers there. Right, everyone has dropped back. One more. Oh, everyone is so lackluster. Pick it up. Slowly. Go with the scrum half. Right, we've got a bit of a break. Here we go. Nelson! On the charge. Cheeky kick over the top. We'll take it. Territory made. 76 minutes. We're nearly in it, Canada. We've nearly got here. Okay. 7-man line out. What are they fancying? Let's go front. Secured. Got to go wider. Still got to go wider. They just wrapped it up instantly. Let's go back left. Surely got to be room out here. Bit awkward, but we did get there. In we get. In we get. Drop goal. Potentially on. Oh, number 5 with the handoff because he cheats. Because although this game is still very awkwardly broken, I'm still competitive and want to win. I'll cheat as much as the game wants me to cheat. Here we go. There's a good break. And Nelson once again. Got a man on his outside. One more. Pick it up. Oh, and the game sucks. Oh, there's just not a lot more you can do from there. Right? There's a guy on the outside. He doesn't get on the ball. You can't swap. You can't recover. And rather than being a draw, it just says continue. I guess we could really do thoughts and feedback now because there's still no patch notes. I've just had a quick check, so no thoughts and feedback in terms of comparing them against the patch notes stuff. So we've got the new box screen mechanics. You know, I like them. I just, like I say, I just think they need to be inverted the way that they're done to make more sense to my brain. I'm sure I won't be the only one. I think people that are, you know, you're left-brained or right-brained, and I assume half the people playing are going to be annoyed by the way the kicking works, and the other half will be like, I see literally no problem in it at all, because it'll just be how your brain works. But I like that they've added the trajectory arc now. I think it is better. Whoop. Okay. Not what I was wanting to do. But the kicking arc for me is much better, you know. Man, even when you win a ruck and begin doing the box kick, they can still turn it over. That is very annoying. You know, but I like the ability to put the... Oh, and also the arc. You need to be able to move that close to the touchline. I want to go there to kick that into the 5-meter channel. And still haven't. See if we get on the end of it. They did call the mark that time. No whistle blown. It was a quick kick by them as well. Right, let's see if we can pressure the counter-attack here. Oh, great interception. The AI attack has been okay today, but it's just so frustrating that it feels always the same thing. It's always a sidestep, it's always a handoff. It's, you know, I constantly see in the FAQ page, it's just people, I think, have got fed up now of that's all the game is. All the game is just cheating things that you can't stop, whether it's you doing them, the AI doing them, or if you're playing, there's a penalty, I don't even know who was offside, I just don't care with these penalties. How can it be offside? Should we have a look? Let's have a look. How can it be offside? So, going on here. Here's where the ruck is. Is anyone offside? You know, maybe technically this guy, maybe 15, because he's not technically behind that back foot. But again, I'm not controlling 15. Ball gets played on. 15 is now back onside. That's perfectly fine. Tackled there. Offload. Tackled by 14. Pushed away. 19 makes the tackle. 19 was involved in the ruck and can't possibly be offside at that point. The ball has gone backwards. So, like, it's not offside. That isn't a penalty. That'll be the game, what have you. So there's just still issues like this that are still very irritating. But yeah, the box kick I like the shift in the box kick. We've obviously found a bit of a niche issue with doing the substitute at half time. Still has that animation plays of a substitute, even though they would surely just come onto the field rather than all run onto the field and then get subbed off. That's just a very niche thing that they'll probably just disable that to work at half time if I can get this, if they sort of see this video. Yeah, the general running play, the AI just cheats because it's all they can do. There's still no phase play put together, which, we weren't expecting that going into this update, seeing as no one was sort of in Big Ant last week. Defensively, they felt a little bit weaker today. Like, we're still playing on hardest. I had a couple of tries in there which felt kind of passively like I was getting it out. And granted, I'm still working within the constraints of I do not have an offensive line. I do not have a wide line. From doing that video on Sunday and going back and playing Rugby 22, and I can stretch my line very, very wide and have wingers touching the touch lines, and I've got massive passes in between to make. I'm running massive threats of them catching an interception, but I like that style. I like playing wide. I like going for these quite offensive attacks. It's not really an option in this game. They still not fixed that A kick. It still came back towards me. Apparently that looks like it might be turning into a mechanic. I think that's the wrong move. I've seen tons of complaints on the FAQ page and in the comment section. Nobody likes it. Nobody asked for it. The kicking was one of the things that was working well. I don't know why that's been a change made by them. It's kind of, there's been a couple of them over. It's like the 5-man rucks. I saw maybe 2 people ask for 5-man rucks, and that was implemented. I've seen 20 people say conversions need to be better. They're the same. I don't know how the FAQ feedback works compared to what does get picked up and what doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. I had a little bit more fun today, but then maybe that's because I haven't played it for 2 weeks. There's not really a lot of updates to talk about. The box kicking is nice. I'm glad they added that trajectory. I would like to see the arc extended and the option to sort of invert those options, how you play, and it change. We had more issues today with the ball just getting stuck in the maul and the ruck and stuff. So that's, an old issue coming back. We've still got the thing with the Wales logo. We're still in 2 red squares for some unknown reason. Not really a lot to talk about without seeing their own patch notes. I'm sure it's more stable. They love stability. I'm sure that's probably in there at some point. I don't know when those patch notes will come out. I think in the minute PC is the only one who's got it, and I'm not around this evening to sort of wait for those patch notes to come out. But do let me know your thoughts down in the comment sections, guys. It's a little bit weird today when we don't have notes to compare it to. Game feels basically the same to me, but we've got box kicks, and they feel better. They actually utilize and work better. You can actually do something with them. Again, AI still not really kicking. Didn't really feel like the AI was kicking it into my territory. Penalties awarded still feel wrong. That offside at the end wasn't correct. No one is offside. That's not how an offside works in the game. Still don't have player name bars in the bottom corners. Still haven't fixed the kicking for me, that holding the A button. So basically, box kicks are better. That's what we take away from today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down in the comment section if you played it yourselves, what you think of this update coming in. Hopefully next week, if all the Big Ant guys are back in the studio and what have you, that they'll be on for a bigger update now. They've had a bit of they've had a week off from an update, and then this one is a very small update. Hopefully the one coming up would be something larger. Don't know what's going to go on with like Lions as well. Seen a few people mention about Lions, and I thought, I don't know what the licensing issues are going to be around for Lions for this game, like whether Big Ant are actually even going to be able to have Lions in. It's why a lot of people want the custom teams and the created teams, so we can make a Lions team. But it could be because Big Ant are based in Australia, and it's the Lions Tour of Australia. You feel like it goes hand in hand. It would be a really big team for them to add in. But I don't even think all the players on the Lions squad have their face scans done. If I remember rightly, the last time I played with Ireland, I think Ronan Keller was still starting at hooker rather than Dan Sheehan for Ireland, and Dan Sheehan hasn't had his face scan like in the game. Or if it is, it's not one of the better ones. So, you know, and he's definitely going to be starting for the Lions, right? You'd have to expect it. So you're going to have players without the face scans done on some of them, and an ever-changing squad in the Lions. I don't know how they'd adjust it. Custom teams. Custom teams is about the only way you can make that work. Custom teams that allow you to pull real players from other teams is about the only way they're going to be able to make Lions work, and I just don't think they've added that in for whatever reason, which is a bit of a shame. But there we have it, guys. I'll see you all next week for this, and we'll probably be covering a bit of Lion stuff on the channel soon as well, so make sure you do hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all the latest videos. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.